Excuse me, are you lost? Because I've got a map mechanic for you this time. This bi-weekly constraint was about making a map mechanic which works, and it was my idea, and boy did I bite off more than I can chew. I don't regret it, and I think I came up with something a little bit interesting. So without further ado, here's my game. So I made a Euro style game called Holographer. It is a game about building terrain and structures on that terrain to gather victory points and have just more points in the end. It is for 2 players currently. The main mechanic of the game is building your own map. As you can see, there are 2 maps. Each player, quote unquote, builds their own, but they exist concurrently wherever the players are. So if I'm this player and I'm on C5, I not only get what is on my side of the map, so on my tile here, I also gain whatever is on the other person's tile. And it's not that I take that away from them, I just get it as well. But enough of the abstractions, let me show you how it actually works. So when the game starts, each player draws 9 land tiles, which are these square ones, and 5 regular cards, which have some effects and which are the structures for which you get the victory points, which are on the right side in the corner. As you can see, the land tiles have only 4 types, and these are the base resources. So red, white, brown, blue, it's fire, wind, earth, and water. And these go on to create some combination. So wood is created by fusing earth and water, and so on. And these combinations here are called refined resources. Once the game starts, you decide how you want to place the land tiles. You could choose, for example, to place 1 earth and 1 water to be able to build the forest here. Because as you can see, you immediately start gaining 1 refined resource, which is wood. So for example, I could have chosen to place them as such. And as you can see, there are a few where there are two land cards on the same tile. In the beginning, when you're setting up your map, you can choose to put up to 2 on the same tile. I also did this for the other player, choosing based on their cards. And now we would place our player character somewhere, or our figurine somewhere we want to start. So I place it on C4. The other player would perhaps place it on D2. So there are a few phases in each turn. The first one is redrawing, which I'll show in the next round, and then placing land tiles. Then you get to move your character, which in the first turn you can't because you just placed it, so consider that the first movement. Then you collect resources. Then you can place cards from your hand, and lastly you can combine the resources. So that's the last step. So let me show you how that would work. For example, this player gets, because they stepped on this tile with 2 base resources, they get 1 water and 1 earth. Then they say, okay, I'm on D2. The player opposite says, okay, on D2 you get 1 wind, so I also get 1 wind here. The other player also gets 1 earth and 1 water and says, I'm on C4. And the other player says, okay, on C4 you get also 1 wind. So basically they got the identical things. Now we are able to play the cards we have in our hand. But currently I can only play the forest, it seems. So I choose it and I place it where it would go. So here, for example. But it doesn't necessarily need to be that the brown one is left to the water. You can also place it here, so you can rotate it however you like. Then is the combination phase, so the refining of the resources which we have. And for example, I would choose to use 1 earth and 1 water to create 1 wood. Okay, so upon the start of the next turn, the players exchange the cards in their hands, and they redraw to have again 5 cards in their hand, as well as drawing 1 land tile. And then you go through the phases again and so on until there are no more land cards left. Right now there are 36, that's much too many. I'd reduce that. You wouldn't be playing 36. You wouldn't be playing 36 turns. You'd be playing a bit less, depending on what the pace of the game is. Okay, and that illustrates the basic mechanic of Holographer. There are, of course, more rules, interactions, and yada yada, but I didn't really have time to put a lot of thought into them. I didn't have enough playtesting, so I don't want to waste your time with rules that I'll change very soon probably. And yeah, I think I'll actually continue a little bit to work on this game, to see what I can do with the different maps but active at the same time thing. Maybe could be interesting, so I'll make an itch page which you can follow in the description. And yeah, so, and for the development, you can, how it worked and whatever, you can check out our podcast and of course Simon's video. I'm very excited to see what he's made. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and catch you next time. Bye bye.